This is our first vehicle. This is the 2003 Dodge Durango. Actually got it from my neighbor for a really good deal because it was just sitting in front of his house. First problem was the fact that it had been sitting there for 3 months and got a really bad black widow infestation. So every night I come out, spiders will be hanging out in their webs, and then you can go ahead and get rid of them from there. This thing's a 2003. It has 193,000 miles on the body, and supposedly they put a new engine in it last winter. I have to figure out if that actually happened or not, but it's running pretty good. Has some issues, but other than that, it's pretty straight. I mean, it wasn't my first choice in vehicle, but it is pretty cool. And the engine is really simple compared to engines today, so it'd be a great engine to work on and learn on if you're a first timer. Anyway, it is a 5.9 liter 360 cubic inch Chrysler 360 Magnum, and like I said, it's very simple compared to stuff that's in a lot of today's cars. You can see you got your air conditioning compressor here, your alternator here, your air filter here. This is your throttle body's under here. This is the air intake adapter. This is your intake manifold, valve cover per side, brake booster, battery, which needs a lot of cleaning and maintenance, which we will cover. But yeah, like I said, it's a very simple engine compared to a lot of stuff that's going on in today's cars. So yeah, stay tuned for the videos, and I will cover the maintenance I do on this thing, and hopefully you learn something. Alrighty, first job we're going to do on this thing is replace the air filter. Every car has an air filter, whether it's on the side, on top, down in the fender well. No matter what car, it should have one. It's very critical that the air filter stays in place and stays clean for multiple reasons, including keeping dirt from getting inside the engine, keeping large contaminants from getting inside the engine, large objects, rocks, sticks, leaves, that kind of thing. And it's also very important to keep it clean, because if the engine has to suck past a restricted filter, your fuel mileage will suffer. This is just standard run-of-the-mill flat pleated filter. There's companies that sell foam ones, there's companies that sell oiled ones that you can wash and reuse. They have really good warranties on them. This is just standard replacement. These are called pleats. Each one of these little wrinkles is called a pleat. Now what this allows the filter to do is hold a lot more dirt than if it was just flat across. If it was just flat across, it would plug up really quick, but because it has all these pleats, it actually increases the surface area of the filter a whole lot, because each one of these pleats can have air drawn through it. So this filter can hold a whole lot of dirt and still pull pretty good air through it. I recommend doing them every 30,000 miles or whatever your manual states, but like I said, it's always a good idea to keep an eye on them. On this truck, they're on the side. It'll be here, and then on the Dodge Rams, some of the older ones, it'll be, like I said, sitting right here. Anyway, if you can get to the housing, it's usually held closed by clips. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. To remove the filter, just pop the clips loose. And this one. And there's tabs on this side that keep the filter from coming up. Or I'm sorry, the housing. So it's being held by those. So just tilt it, kind of rock it out, and tilt it to the side. Here's the old one. It's not terrible, but you can see there's some dirt still in the pleats. Some people can blow these out with air. I mean, they're so cheap, it's really not worth it, because they really never come that clean. But anyway, we're going to replace it, so just get rid of that. Take the new one. There's an arrow on it. Make sure the arrows go in the direction the air is supposed to be flowing. I'm going to install this one the same way the old one came out. So make sure it's flush. This thick rubber right here, make sure that it seals across it so that it can't suck in any dirt from a poor seal. So just take that, line it up like so, push it down, 1 clip, 2 clip, 3 clip, 4. the air filter's changed. This one was about $7 at the auto parts store, and some dealers will charge you $50-$60 to do it. Some independent shops will even charge you $30-$40 depending on what their rate is. But anyway, now you know how to change your air filter. I'm sure I'll do more in the future and document that as well, so you can see the different types. But yes, like I said, sometimes they'll be here, there'll be a circular one sitting here on older carbureted vehicles, or sometimes it'll be buried in the fender well and you won't even see it. Certain cars have cold air intakes or short ram intakes where there's a tube coming off right here and the filter will be exposed, and those are just a cone filter. They're either replaceable or washable. But anyway, that's how you do the air filter on one of these, so stay tuned, I got more for you. Just a side note, this is some of the dirt that came out when I set the air filter down. You can see there's still some coming out. All of the dust and debris that the filter traps, if it were to get in your engine, it'd be very detrimental to the parts inside. It'll actually act like sandpaper, sand down your rings, your piston, your bores, a bunch of the moving parts inside, and it will actually severely damage your engine over time. So, like I said, make sure your air filter is nice and clean.